Good evening. Tonight, we invite you to drift away into the enchanting world of Fioria, a kingdom of rolling hills and enchanted forests. Close your eyes and let the gentle whispers of an ancient prophecy guide you into a land of magic and wonder. In the heart of this peaceful realm, young Prince Olden embarks on a quest to discover a legendary harmonica, a magical instrument said to awaken the slumbering giants and protect his kingdom from a looming threat. As the sun sets and the golden glow fades into twilight, let the calming tale of bravery and destiny ease you into a restful slumber. Allow the soothing rhythms of our story to cradle you as you find comfort in the serene landscapes of Fioria. The quiet whispers of ancient legends and the gentle guidance of a young prince will help you unwind and embrace the tranquility of the night. Let go of your worries and immerse yourself in the peaceful journey of Prince Olden. May the serenity of Fioria lead you to a deep and restful sleep. Chapter 1. The Enchanted Harmonica. In the heart of Fioria, a kingdom nestled between rolling hills and enchanted forests, whispers of an ancient prophecy filled the air like the murmurs of a long-forgotten dream. Fioria was a realm of peace and prosperity, where the lands were fertile and the people lived in harmony with nature. Yet, the calm was often punctuated by tales of an age-old legend that foretold the coming of a magical harmonica, one that could awaken the slumbering giants and wield untold powers in times of dire need. The prophecy spoke of a noble soul destined to find this enchanted instrument, a soul who would rise to protect the kingdom from a looming threat. This legend was etched in the minds of the Fiorians, passed down from generation to generation, like a delicate thread weaving through the fabric of their history. The youngest prince of Fioria, Prince Olden, was particularly enchanted by these stories. He often imagined himself as the hero of the tale, bravely defending his homeland with the help of the mythical harmonica. Prince Olden was not like his elder brothers, who were renowned warriors and skilled diplomats. Instead, he was known for his curious mind and gentle spirit. He spent his days exploring the vast library of the castle, poring over ancient scrolls and manuscripts, and wandering through the tranquil gardens, lost in thoughts of adventure and heroism. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the kingdom, an unexpected visitor arrived at the castle gates. Clad in a cloak that shimmered with an ethereal light, the traveller's presence was both mysterious and compelling. He requested an audience with the king, claiming to bear news of great importance. King Eldric, wise and just, welcomed the traveller into the grand hall, where torches flickered and tapestries depicting Fioria's storied past adorned the walls. The traveller, with eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of the universe, spoke in a voice that resonated with the weight of destiny. "Your Majesty," he began, a great peril approaches from the northern wastes. An army, driven by dark magic and an insatiable thirst for conquest, marches toward Faoria. Their leader, a warlord of immense power, seeks to shroud this land in darkness. The hall fell silent, the gravity of the traveller's words sinking in like the chill of a winter's night. King Eldric's face grew stern, and his advisors exchanged worried glances. But the traveller continued, his voice now tinged with a glimmer of hope. "There is a way to protect your realm," he said, "a way foretold by the ancient prophecy. The golden harmonica, a magical instrument capable of awakening the sleeping giants, must be found. Only with its power can you hope to stand against the encroaching darkness." Prince Alden, who had been listening from the shadows, felt a surge of excitement and determination. The prophecy he had cherished since childhood was now more than a mere legend. It was a call to action. The traveller's eyes met Alden's, and in that moment it was as if an unspoken understanding passed between them. "The harmonica will reveal itself to a noble soul in times of great need," the traveller added, his gaze never wavering from the young prince. "Seek it, and may the light of Faoria guide your path." With those final words, the traveller vanished into the night, leaving behind an air of mystery and urgency. The king and his council began to prepare for the impending threat, but Prince Alden's mind was set on a different course. He knew that the fate of Faoria rested not just on the strength of its armies, but on the fulfillment of the ancient prophecy. Determined to find the legendary harmonica and prove himself worthy, Alden vowed to embark on a journey that would test his courage and resolve. Little did he know that this quest would lead him to discoveries beyond his wildest dreams and into the heart of a destiny that had awaited him all his life. As the castle buzzed with preparations for the looming threat, the mysterious traveller's visit lingered in everyone's mind. Yet none were more affected than Prince Alden, whose heart beat with the rhythm of a quest newly born. The ancient prophecy, once a mere legend, now loomed large and real, beckoning him with an urgency he could not ignore. The night after the traveller's departure, Alden found himself restless, his mind a whirlpool of thoughts and possibilities. He decided to seek out the library, hoping the wisdom of the ancients might provide further guidance. The library, a labyrinthine repository of Faoria's knowledge, had always been a sanctuary for him. Its towering shelves, crammed with tomes and scrolls, whispered secrets of bygone eras. The flickering light of a single candle cast shadows on the stone walls as Alden wandered through the aisles. His fingers traced the spines of old books, their leather covers worn smooth by the hands of countless readers. His gaze fell upon a volume titled The Chronicles of Faoria, an expansive history of the kingdom. He pulled it from the shelf, dust motes dancing in the air, and settled into a corner to read. Hours passed as Alden immersed himself in tales of valor and magic. The harmonica was mentioned several times, each account shrouded in mystique. One passage, however, stood out. In times of dire need, the golden harmonica shall appear. Its melodies, a beacon to the noble of heart, will awaken the giants from their enchanted sleep. Only a soul pure and brave can wield its power to save the realm. As Alden pondered these words, a soft rustle broke the silence. He looked up to see a hooded figure standing in the doorway. The figure stepped into the light, revealing the traveller, his cloak shimmering as before. "Prince Alden," the traveller said, his voice resonating with an otherworldly timbre. "I see you have found the chronicles. The answers you seek lie not just in books, but within your heart." Alden rose, his curiosity piqued. "Who are you?" he asked. "And how do you know so much about the harmonica?" The traveller smiled, a knowing glint in his eyes. "I am but a guardian of the old ways, a keeper of the prophecy. My name is Elian. I was sent to guide you on your path, for it is you who must find the harmonica and awaken the giants." "Why me?" Alden asked, doubt creeping into his voice. "What makes me worthy of such a task?" Elian stepped closer, placing a reassuring hand on Alden's shoulder. "Your heart, Prince Alden. It beats with courage, wisdom, and an unwavering love for your people. These qualities mark you as the chosen one, the noble soul destined to fulfill the prophecy." Alden nodded, a newfound resolve taking root within him. "Where do I begin?" Elian reached into his cloak and produced a small, intricately carved wooden box. He handed it to Alden, who opened it to reveal a delicate silver key. "This key will unlock the door to your destiny," Elian said. "In the attic of this very castle, hidden among the relics of the past, you will find a chest. Within it lies the golden harmonica. Trust in yourself and let the melodies guide you." With that, Elian turned and vanished as mysteriously as he had appeared, leaving Alden alone with the key and the weight of his newfound purpose. The prince's mind raced with anticipation. He knew the attic well, a place of forgotten treasures and dusty memories. As dawn approached, Alden made his way to the attic, the key clutched tightly in his hand. He climbed the narrow, creaking stairs, each step bringing him closer to the unknown. The attic was a labyrinth of old furniture, chests, and cobweb-covered artifacts. He scanned the room, his eyes searching for anything that might hint at the harmonica's presence. In a corner, half hidden beneath a tattered tapestry, he spotted an ornate chest adorned with symbols he recognized from the chronicles. His heart pounded as he approached it, the key fitting perfectly into the ancient lock. With a deep breath, Alden turned the key and lifted the lid. Inside, nestled among faded velvet lining, lay the golden harmonica. Its surface shimmered with a magical light, intricate designs dancing across the metal. As Alden picked it up, a warmth spread through his fingers, and a sense of destiny filled his soul. The journey had begun. With the harmonica in hand and Elian's guidance echoing in his mind, Prince Alden knew he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The fate of Faoria rested on his shoulders, and he was determined to rise to the occasion, fulfilling the prophecy that had called to him from the depths of time. The golden harmonica felt alive in Prince Alden's hands, its warmth and subtle vibrations resonating with the heartbeat of Faoria itself. Standing in the dimly lit attic, surrounded by relics of the past, Alden felt a profound connection to the ancient prophecy. This moment, this discovery, was the beginning of a journey that would shape the future of his kingdom. As he examined the harmonica, its intricate designs seemed to tell a story of their own. Symbols of power, protection, and harmony intertwined in a beautiful dance. Alden's curiosity urged him to play a note, but he hesitated, knowing the power it held. Instead, he tucked the harmonica into his tunic and made his way back to his chambers, eager to prepare for the trials ahead. The next morning, as the first light of dawn filtered through the castle windows, Alden sought out his trusted friend and mentor, Sir Cedric. A seasoned knight with a heart of gold, Cedric had been a guiding force in Alden's life, teaching him the ways of the sword and the principles of honor. He found Cedric in the training yard, his silver hair gleaming in the early sunlight as he sparred with a group of young squires. "Cedric," Alden called, approaching with purpose. "I need your counsel." The knight paused, his keen eyes meeting Alden's with a mix of curiosity and concern. "What troubles you, my prince?" Alden led Cedric to a secluded corner of the yard, away from prying ears. "I have found the golden harmonica," he revealed, showing the instrument to Cedric. "It is real, and I believe it holds the key to protecting our realm." Cedric's eyes widened with awe and recognition. "A prophecy," he whispered. "So, it is true. What do you intend to do?" Alden recounted his encounter with Elian and the urgency of the approaching threat. "I must learn to harness its power, Cedric. But first, I need to understand its true potential." Cedric nodded thoughtfully. "The harmonica's melodies are said to awaken the giants of Faoria, ancient beings of immense strength and wisdom. If you are to wield this power, you must first learn the language of its music." With Cedric's guidance, Alden began to practice the harmonica, starting with simple melodies that resonated with the natural world. The notes he played were unlike any he had heard before, each one imbued with a magical quality that seemed to ripple through the air, touching everything in its path. Birds paused in their flight, flowers turned their heads to listen, and even the wind seemed to carry the harmonica's tune with reverence. One evening, as Alden played a particularly haunting melody, a faint tremor ran through the ground. He felt an ancient presence stirring, a force awakening from its long slumber. With Cedric by his side, Alden followed the pull of the music to a secluded glade on the outskirts of the kingdom. There, hidden beneath a canopy of ancient trees, lay a massive stone slab, carved with the same symbols that adorned the harmonica. As Alden continued to play, the slab began to glow with an ethereal light. The ground shook, and with a rumble that echoed through the forest, the slab slowly lifted, revealing a hidden chamber below. Inside, nestled among roots and earth, lay the slumbering form of a giant, his massive body covered in moss and vines. Alden's music grew more insistent, each note a call to the giant's soul. Slowly, the giant stirred, his eyes opening to reveal a deep, ancient wisdom. He rose with a grace that belied his size, towering above Alden and Cedric like a living mountain. The giant knelt before Alden, his voice a deep rumble that resonated with the harmonica's melody. "I am Thaddeus," he intoned. "You have awakened me, noble prince, and I pledge my strength and loyalty to your cause." Alden's heart swelled with gratitude and determination. With Thaddeus by his side, he knew they stood a chance against the encroaching darkness. The harmonica's power was real, and it had chosen him to wield it. Together with Cedric and the giant, Alden vowed to protect Faoria, no matter the cost. As the sun set over the forest, casting long shadows that danced in the fading light, Alden felt the weight of his destiny settle upon him. The journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but with the harmonica's melodies guiding him, he was ready to face whatever came his way. The next morning, the castle grounds were bathed in the soft glow of dawn. Prince Alden stood at the edge of the courtyard, the golden harmonica clutched in his hand. Thaddeus, the giant he had awakened, stood beside him, a formidable presence that seemed to meld with the ancient trees lining the perimeter. Sir Cedric watched from a distance, his eyes filled with a mixture of pride and concern. Alden took a deep breath, bringing the harmonica to his lips. The moment he played the first note, a wave of magic rippled through the air. The melody was haunting and beautiful, each note weaving a tapestry of sound that resonated with the very soul of Faoria. Birds ceased their singing to listen, and even the wind seemed to hush, carrying the harmonica's song across the kingdom. As Alden continued to play, he felt a deep connection to the land and its people. The melody spoke of ancient forests, rolling hills, and the vibrant spirit of Faoria. It was a song of unity and strength, a call to arms for all who loved their homeland. The ground beneath their feet began to tremble, and a soft golden light emanated from the harmonica. Thaddeus, his massive form bathed in the glow, looked down at Alden with a newfound respect. "Your music awakens not only giants, young prince, but also the hearts of those who hear it. Use this power wisely." With a final soaring note, Alden lowered the harmonica. The echoes of the melody lingered in the air, a reminder of the power he now wielded. He looked to Thaddeus, whose eyes shone with ancient wisdom. "We must prepare," Alden said, his voice steady. "The kingdom faces a grave threat, and we need allies who can stand against the coming darkness." Thaddeus nodded, his expression solemn. "There are others like me, slumbering across Feoria, giants who will rise to defend their home if called. We must journey to their resting places and awaken them." Sir Cedric stepped forward, his armor glinting in the morning light. "I will accompany you, my prince. Together, we will gather the strength needed to protect Feoria." The journey began at first light. Alden, Cedric, and Thaddeus traveled across the kingdom, guided by the harmonica's melodies. Each note seemed to point the way, leading them through dense forests, over towering mountains, and across vast plains. Everywhere they went, the land responded to the music, blooming with life and vitality. In a hidden valley, they found another giant, her form entwined with the roots of ancient trees. Alden played a gentle, lilting tune, and the giantess, named Era, awoke with a sigh, her eyes filled with the same wisdom and strength as Thaddeus's. She pledged her loyalty to Alden, her voice like the rustling of leaves in a summer breeze. In a secluded cave beneath a roaring waterfall, they discovered a third giant, his body encrusted with sparkling gems. Alden's harmonica played a bold, powerful melody, and the giant, named Gorath, rose with a roar, his laughter echoing like thunder. He too swore to stand with Alden, his strength a formidable addition to their growing force. As days turned into weeks, Alden's harmonica awakened giants across the land. Each new ally brought a renewed sense of hope and determination. The harmonica's power, combined with the giant's might, forged a bond that seemed unbreakable. The kingdom of Feoria stirred with anticipation, its people ready to stand against the encroaching darkness. One evening, as the sun set over the rolling hills, casting the landscape in hues of gold and crimson, Alden stood with Thaddeus, Era, Gorath, and Sir Cedric. The air was filled with a sense of purpose and unity. The giants, towering above the trees, looked down at Alden with a mixture of respect and expectation. "We are ready," Alden said, his voice carrying across the gathered forces. "Together, we will protect our realm and ensure that the light of Feoria never fades." As the stars began to twinkle in the twilight sky, Alden raised the harmonica to his lips once more. The melody that flowed forth was a song of courage and hope, a beacon that would guide them through the trials ahead. The journey was far from over, but with the harmonica's magic and the loyalty of the giants, Alden knew they would face whatever came their way with unwavering strength and determination. As the company ventured deeper into Feoria, guided by the harmonica's melodies, they arrived at a rugged, windswept coastline. The cliffs rose high above the crashing waves, their jagged edges silhouetted against the stormy sky. The air was thick with the scent of salt and the distant call of seabirds. It was here that the final giant was said to slumber, entombed within the very rock of the cliffs. Prince Alden, Thaddeus, Era, Gorath, and Sir Cedric stood at the edge of the precipice, looking out over the tumultuous sea. Alden brought the harmonica to his lips, the now familiar warmth spreading through his fingers. The notes he played echoed the power of the ocean, a deep, resonant melody that seemed to harmonize with the thunderous roar of the waves. As the music filled the air, the cliffs began to tremble. The ground beneath their feet vibrated, and cracks appeared in the rock, glowing with an inner light. The melody reached a crescendo, and with a deafening rumble, the cliff face split open, revealing the colossal form of the sleeping giant. This giant, larger than any they had encountered before, was embedded in the rock, his body covered in barnacles and seaweed. His eyes, closed in deep slumber, flickered as the harmonica's song penetrated his dreams. With a final powerful note, Alden called the giant to wakefulness. The giant's eyes snapped open, revealing a gaze as deep and unfathomable as the ocean itself. He stretched, his massive limbs breaking free from the rock with a shower of stones and debris. As he rose to his full height, the very air seemed to hum with his presence. "I am Branna," the giant rumbled, his voice like the grinding of tectonic plates. "Who dares awaken me from my ancient sleep?" Alden stepped forward, his heart steady and his voice firm. "I am Prince Alden of Feoria. Our kingdom faces a grave threat and we seek your aid. Will you join us in our quest to protect our realm?" Branna studied Alden, his eyes narrowing as he considered the young prince's words. "I have slumbered for centuries, bound by the will of the earth and sea. Why should I lend my strength to your cause?" Alden raised the harmonica, its golden surface gleaming in the dim light. "This harmonica's melodies have the power to awaken not just giants, but the spirit of our land. It is a symbol of unity and courage. With your help, we can stand against the darkness that threatens us all." The giant's gaze softened as he looked at the harmonica, and then at the determined faces of Alden, Thaddeus, Era, Gorath, and Sir Cedric. "Very well," Branna said, a slow smile spreading across his weathered features. "I will join you. Together we shall defend Feoria." With Branna's pledge, the company grew stronger. The giants, now 4 in number, towered over the landscape, their presence a testament to the power of the ancient prophecy. They marched back toward the heart of Feoria, their footsteps shaking the ground and their resolve unbreakable. As they journeyed, the harmonica's melodies continued to guide them, infusing their every step with purpose and strength. Villages and towns along their path cheered at the sight of the giants, their spirits lifted by the sight of such formidable protectors. One evening, as they camped beneath a canopy of stars, Alden and Cedric sat by the fire, reflecting on their journey. "We've come so far," Alden said, his voice filled with a mixture of wonder and determination. "Yet, I know the hardest battles still lie ahead." Cedric placed a reassuring hand on Alden's shoulder. "You have the heart of a true leader, my prince. With the harmonica's power and the loyalty of our allies, we will face whatever comes with courage and strength." As the fire crackled and the giant silhouettes loomed against the night sky, Alden felt a deep sense of purpose. The journey to awaken the giants had been a test of his resolve, but it was only the beginning. The true challenge lay ahead, in the confrontation with the dark forces threatening Faoria. With the harmonica's melodies as their guide and the unity of their company as their strength, Alden knew they were ready. The fate of Faoria rested on their shoulders, and they would not falter. Together, they would protect their realm and ensure that the light of hope burned bright against the encroaching darkness. As dawn broke, the first light of day cast a golden glow over the camp. The giants stirred, their colossal forms rising with a grace that belied their size. Prince Alden, refreshed by a few hours of sleep, stood at the edge of the camp, gazing toward the horizon where the northern wastes lay. The harmonica hung around his neck, a constant reminder of the power and responsibility he now carried. The time had come to face the threat that loomed over Faoria. The northern army, driven by dark magic and an insatiable hunger for conquest, was drawing closer with each passing day. Alden knew that to protect his realm, he would need more than just the strength of the giants. He would need the courage and unity of all Faorians. A council of war was called, and the leaders of the company gathered around a large map spread out on the ground. Sir Cedric, his eyes sharp and determined, pointed to the northern border. "The enemy advances swiftly. We must meet them head-on before they breach our defenses." Thaddeus, his deep voice resonating with calm authority, nodded in agreement. "Our strength lies in our unity. With the harmonica's power and the might of the giants, we can hold the line and push them back." Era and Gorath, their expressions mirroring Thaddeus's resolve, added their voices to the plan. "We will stand with you, Prince Alden," Ira said, her voice as soothing as a gentle breeze. "Together, we are unstoppable." Alden felt a surge of gratitude and determination. He knew that the coming battle would test them all, but with allies like these, he believed they could prevail. He took a deep breath and addressed the gathered leaders. "We march to the northern border. We will defend our land and our people. Let the harmonica's melodies guide us and give us strength." With the plan set, the company prepared to march. Alden played a rousing tune on the harmonica, the notes ringing out across the camp and lifting the spirits of all who heard. As they set off, the giants led the way, their immense strides covering ground quickly. The people of Faoria, inspired by the sight of their prince and his mighty companions, joined the march, forming a formidable army. Days passed as they travelled north, the landscape changing from lush forest to rugged, rocky terrain. The air grew colder, and a sense of foreboding hung over the land. As they approached the northern border, scouts reported sightings of the enemy, an army vast and menacing, its soldiers clad in dark armour and wielding weapons forged with dark magic. The two forces met on a broad, windswept plain, the ground trembling under the weight of their numbers. Prince Alden stood at the forefront, the golden harmonica gleaming in his hand. He raised it to his lips and played a melody of strength and defiance, its powerful notes echoing across the battlefield. The giants roared their support, their voices mingling with the harmonica's music. Thaddeus, Era, Gorath and Branna formed a line, their presence a towering wall of defence. Sir Cedric and the knights of Feoria stood ready, their swords gleaming in the cold light of dawn. The battle began with a clash of steel and a burst of magic. The northern army, driven by their dark leader, pressed forward with relentless force. But Alden's harmonica played on, its melodies weaving through the chaos, imbuing his allies with courage and strength. The giants fought with a fury unmatched, their massive fists and feet crushing the enemy's ranks. In the midst of the fray, Alden found himself face to face with the warlord who led the northern army. Clad in black armour and radiating dark power, the warlord sneered at the young prince. "You think a mere harmonica can save you?" he taunted. Alden's eyes blazed with determination. "This harmonica is a symbol of unity and hope. It is more powerful than you can imagine." With that, he played a fierce, triumphant melody, the harmonica's notes slicing through the air like a sword. The warlord staggered, his dark magic faltering in the face of the harmonica's pure power. Alden seized the moment, lunging forward with his sword and striking a decisive blow. The warlord fell, his dark power dissipating like smoke on the wind. The northern army, leaderless and demoralized, began to retreat. The giants and the knights of Feoria pressed their advantage, driving the enemy back across the border. As the dust settled and the battlefield grew quiet, Alden lowered the harmonica, its final notes lingering in the air like a benediction. He looked around at his companions, Thaddeus, Era, Gorath, Branna and Sir Cedric, all of them weary but victorious. "We have done it," Alden said, his voice filled with gratitude and relief. "Feoria is safe." The company erupted in cheers, their voices echoing across the plain. The battle was won, but Alden knew their journey was far from over. There would be challenges ahead, but with the harmonica's melodies and the unity of his people, he was ready to face whatever the future held. As they began the journey back to the heart of Feoria, the harmonica's music filled the air, a song of hope and victory that would... Chapter 2. the quest to protect the realm. The victory over the Northern Army was a hard-won triumph, but Prince Alden knew that Faoria's challenges were far from over. As the company made their way back to the heart of the kingdom, they were greeted with cheers and celebration. Yet, beneath the surface of joy, a sense of unease lingered. Dark forces still threatened the realm, and the warlord's defeat was but one battle in a larger war. The harmonica's melodies continued to resonate through Faoria, strengthening the resolve of its people. Villages and towns rallied, their inhabitants inspired by the courage and unity of Alden and his companions. The giants, now revered protectors, travelled with Alden, their presence a constant reminder of the kingdom's newfound strength. As the company approached the castle, King Eldric awaited them with a mixture of pride and concern. His wise eyes took in the sight of his youngest son, now a proven leader and hero. "You have done well, Alden," the king said, embracing him. "But I fear the storm is only beginning to gather." Alden nodded, understanding the gravity of his father's words. The Northern Army may be defeated, but their dark allies still plot in the shadows. We must be vigilant and prepare for the battles yet to come. The castle's grand hall buzzed with activity as the leaders of Faoria gathered to discuss their next steps. Sir Cedric, ever the voice of reason, spoke first. "Our victory has given us time, but we must use it wisely. The dark forces are regrouping, and we must be ready to face them again." Thaddeus, his massive form filling the room with an air of authority, nodded in agreement. "The giants of Faoria are with you, Prince Alden. We will stand guard at the borders and protect our people." Era and Gorath, their expressions resolute, added their support. "We must strengthen our defences and seek out any remaining threats," Era said. "Together, we can ensure that Faoria remains safe." Alden listened to his advisors, the weight of leadership settling on his shoulders. "We will fortify our borders and continue to rally our people. But we must also seek out allies beyond our realm. There are others who share our love for peace and justice. If we unite with them, we can form a coalition strong enough to stand against any darkness." The decision was made, and preparations began in earnest. Messengers were dispatched to neighbouring kingdoms, carrying letters of alliance and pleas for aid. The people of Faoria worked tirelessly to strengthen their defences, building walls and fortifications, and training for the battles to come. As the days turned into weeks, the threat of the dark forces loomed ever larger. Scouts reported sightings of shadowy figures moving through the forests and whispers of dark magic growing in strength. The air was thick with tension, and the once peaceful land of Faoria felt the gathering storm pressing in from all sides. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned a deep shade of violet, Alden stood atop the castle walls, gazing out over his kingdom. The The harmonica hung around his neck, its presence a comforting weight. He played a soft, soothing melody, the notes drifting on the evening breeze and calming his troubled mind. Sir Cedric joined him, his armour gleaming in the twilight. "The people look to you for hope, my prince," he said, his voice gentle, "and you have given them that hope with your courage and leadership." Alden nodded, the music of the harmonica filling the quiet space between them. "I only hope that it will be enough. The darkness is growing stronger, and the battles ahead will test us all." Cedric placed a reassuring hand on Alden's shoulder. "You are not alone, Alden. We all stand with you, and with the harmonica's power and the unity of our people, we will face whatever comes with unwavering strength." As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Alden felt a renewed sense of purpose. The gathering storm was a formidable challenge, but he knew that with the loyalty of his companions and the harmonica's melodies, they could weather it. Together, they would protect Faoria and ensure that the light of hope continued to shine brightly in the face of darkness. As the golden rays of dawn stretched across Faoria, messengers set off on swift steeds to neighbouring kingdoms, carrying the call for aid. Prince Alden, ever vigilant, oversaw the preparations for the kingdom's defence. The harmonica's melodies continued to inspire and unify, but Alden knew they would need more than music to withstand the coming storm. One by one, responses arrived from distant realms. The first to answer was Queen Seraphina of the Sunlit Isles, a realm known for its fierce warriors and wise sages. She sent a contingent of her finest knights, led by Captain Mia, a warrior of unmatched skill and loyalty. The knights arrived with banners flying and armour gleaming, a beacon of hope for the people of Faoria. Next came the elves of the Silverwood, led by Lord Phelan, an archer whose arrows never missed their mark. The elves, with their keen senses and unparalleled agility, brought a wealth of knowledge about the dark forces gathering at Faoria's borders. They moved with the grace of the forest, their presence a silent reassurance. From the desert kingdom of Aridia came the dwarves, masters of stone and metal. King Thrain himself led the delegation, bringing with him engineers and craftsmen who quickly set to work, strengthening Faoria's fortifications. Their hammers rang out day and night, forging weapons and armour imbued with ancient runes of protection. However, not all responses were favourable. Word came of treachery within the neighbouring kingdom of Valoria. Duke Valen, a once trusted ally, had fallen under the influence of dark magic and now conspired against Faoria. Reports indicated that he had pledged his allegiance to the dark forces, providing them with resources and soldiers in exchange for promises of power. The discovery of this betrayal weighed heavily on Alden's heart. He convened a council of war with his closest advisors, Sir Cedric, Thaddeus, Era, Gorath, and Branna, along with their new allies. The grand hall buzzed with tension as they discussed their strategy. "Valoria's betrayal poses a significant threat," said Captain Mia, her voice steady. "We must be prepared to face them on the battlefield, alongside the dark forces they now serve." Lord Phelan nodded, his eyes sharp and calculating. "We must also anticipate their tactics. Duke Valen knows our strengths and weaknesses. We need to stay one step ahead." King Thrain, his beard bristling with indignation, slammed his fist on the table. "Let them come. We will forge weapons strong enough to withstand any attack. Our defences will hold." Alden listened, absorbing the wisdom and resolve of his allies. "We must unite our strengths," he said, his voice carrying the weight of his responsibility. "Together, we can outmatch them. The harmonica's power will guide us, and the courage of our people will see us through." As plans were set in motion, Alden took a moment to reflect on the harmonica's role. Its melodies had brought them allies, but it also held the potential to turn the tide of battle. He knew he had to master its full power if they were to succeed. One evening, Alden retreated to a quiet glade on the castle grounds, the harmonica in hand. He played a haunting melody, its notes weaving through the trees and mingling with the whisper of the wind. As the music flowed, he felt a presence beside him. Elian, the mysterious traveller who had first guided him to the harmonica. "Your journey is far from over, Prince Alden," Elian said, his voice like a soft breeze. "The harmonica's true power lies not just in its music, but in the heart of the one who plays it. You must believe in yourself and in the unity you have forged." Alden nodded, the weight of Elian's words settling into his soul. "I understand. I will lead with courage and conviction, and I will trust in the harmonica's power." With Elian's guidance and the support of his allies, Alden felt a renewed sense of determination. The dark forces and their treacherous allies would not find Fioria unprepared. The kingdom stood united, ready to defend its home and its future. As the days grew shorter and the shadows lengthened, the storm continued to gather. But within the walls of Fioria, a light of hope burned bright, fueled by the harmonica's melodies and the unwavering resolve of those who fought for their realm. The coming battles would test them all, but together they would face whatever darkness came their way, and they would emerge victorious. The days grew darker and colder as the storm clouds of war gathered on the horizon. Fioria, fortified and united, braced for the coming conflict. Prince Alden, with the golden harmonica as his constant companion, felt the weight of his destiny more keenly than ever. The harmonica's melodies had called forth giants and allies, but its true power remained a mystery he was determined to unravel. One evening, as the castle lay in the quiet grip of night, Alden sought solitude in the grand hall. The tapestries depicting the kingdom's history fluttered in the flickering torchlight. Alden sat at the great table, the harmonica in his hands, and closed his eyes. He played a soft, haunting melody, each note resonating with the echoes of the past. As the music filled the hall, Alden felt a presence beside him. Elian, the enigmatic traveller, appeared once more, his cloak shimmering with an ethereal light. "You have done well, Prince Alden," Elian said, his voice blending with the harmonica's melody. "But there is more to learn, and time grows short." Alden opened his eyes, meeting Elian's steady gaze. "I need to understand the harmonica's true power," he said. "It has guided and united us, but I feel there is more it can do." Elian nodded, his expression serious. "The harmonica is a conduit of ancient magic, a link between the physical and the mystical. Its power is not just in the music it creates, but in the intent and purity of the heart that plays it. To unlock its full potential, you must play with a purpose that transcends your own fears and desires." Alden listened intently, his mind racing with the implications of Elian's words. "How do I find that purpose?" he asked. Elian placed a hand on Alden's shoulder. "You must look within and remember why you fight. The harmonica's power lies in its ability to channel the collective strength and hope of Feoria. Play for your people, for the land, for the future you wish to protect. Let the melodies carry that purpose, and the harmonica will respond." With renewed determination, Alden nodded. "I understand. Thank you, Elian." The traveller smiled and faded into the shadows, leaving Alden alone with his thoughts and the harmonica. The prince took a deep breath, feeling a surge of clarity. He rose and made his way to the battlements, where the giants and their allies kept watch over the darkening landscape. Thaddeus, Aera, Gorath, and Branna stood like sentinels, their massive forms silhouetted against the stormy sky. Sir Cedric and Captain Mia patrolled the walls, their keen eyes scanning the horizon. Alden joined them, the harmonica gleaming in his hand. "We are ready," Cedric said, his voice filled with unwavering confidence. "Whatever comes, we will face it together." Alden nodded, feeling the strength of their unity. "Yes, together." As dawn approached, bringing with it the promise of a new day, Alden played a melody of hope and resilience. The harmonica's notes soared over the battlements, reaching the ears of every soldier, every ally, every giant. The music infused them with a sense of purpose, a reminder of what they fought to protect. The dark forces led by Duke Valen and his twisted army marched toward Feoria's borders. The sky darkened further as their shadows loomed, but the harmonica's melody pierced the gloom, a beacon of light and defiance. The two armies clashed on the battlefield, the ground shaking with the force of their conflict. The giants roared and fought with unmatched fury, their massive forms a bulwark against the tide of darkness. the knights of Fioria, alongside their allies from the sunlit isles, the Silverwood and Iridia, held the line with unwavering courage. In the midst of the chaos, Alden stood, the harmonica in his hands, playing with a purpose that transcended his fears. Each note was a call to unity, a plea for strength, a promise of a brighter future. The harmonica responded, its magic weaving through the battlefield, bolstering the spirits of those who fought for Fioria. As the battle raged, Alden felt the harmonica's power surge, a symphony of hope and defiance that echoed across the land. The dark forces faltered, their magic no match for the harmonica's pure, unyielding melody. Duke Valen, consumed by his dark ambitions, found himself facing the full might of Fioria's unity. With a final powerful note, Alden played a melody of victory, its triumphant strains resonating through the battlefield. The dark forces, shattered and broken, retreated before the harmonica's magic. Fioria stood victorious, its people united and strong. As the sun broke through the storm clouds, bathing the land in golden light, Alden lowered the harmonica, his heart filled with hope. The battle had been won, but the journey was far from over. With the harmonica's power and the unity of his people, Alden knew they could face any challenge that lay ahead. Fioria was safe, its future bright, and the harmonica's melodies would continue to guide them, a testament to the power of unity, hope, and the enduring spirit of the realm. The morning sun rose over Fioria, casting a golden glow upon the land that had been defended with such valor. The echoes of the previous day's victory resonated throughout the kingdom. Yet Prince Alden knew that the threat had not been entirely vanquished. The dark forces, though driven back, were regrouping, and their malevolent presence still loomed like a storm on the horizon. As the people of Fioria tended to the wounded and fortified their defences, Alden and his companions prepared for the next phase of their struggle. The giants, Thaddeus, Era, Gorath, and Branna, stood like ancient sentinels, their expressions grave but determined. Sir Cedric, Captain Mia, and the allied leaders gathered to strategize, their faces marked by resolve and purpose. Alden, the harmonica hanging around his neck, addressed the assembled leaders. "We have won a significant battle, but our war is not over. The dark forces will return, stronger and more determined. We must be ready to face them with all our strength." Captain Mia stepped forward, her eyes fierce with determination. "Our allies stand with us, Prince Alden. The knights of the sunlit isles, the elves of the Silverwood, and the dwarves of Iridia are prepared to fight until the end." Lord Phelan, his bow slung across his back, nodded in agreement. "We will use every skill and strategy at our disposal. The enemy may have dark magic, but we have the power of unity and hope." King Thrain, his voice a rumble of confidence, added, Our fortifications are stronger than ever. Let them come. They will find no weakness here. The council's resolve fortified. Alden felt a surge of gratitude and determination. He knew that the harmonica's true power lay not just in its music, but in the unity it inspired. With their plans set, they awaited the inevitable return of the dark forces. The following day, the skies darkened once more, and the earth trembled as the enemy approached. From the northern wastes, a horde of shadowy figures emerged, led by the resurrected warlord and his dark sorcerers. Their eyes burned with malevolent intent, and their weapons glowed with dark enchantments. The armies of Fioria stood ready, their ranks bolstered by their allies. The giants, towering above the battlefield, prepared for the clash that would decide the fate of the realm. Alden took his place at the forefront, the harmonica gleaming in his hand. With a deep breath, he played a melody of courage and defiance, its notes piercing the gathering gloom. The battle began with a thunderous roar, the clash of steel and the crackle of magic filling the air. The giants charged forward, their mighty fists and feet creating shockwaves that sent the enemy reeling. Thaddeus's roar echoed like a thunderclap, his massive form a bastion of strength. Era moved with the grace of the wind, her blows precise and devastating. Gorath's laughter boomed like thunder, his every strike a force of nature. Branna, his eyes gleaming with ancient wisdom, fought with the power of the earth itself. Alden's harmonica played on, its melodies weaving through the chaos, bolstering the spirits of his allies and confounding their foes. The music seemed to take on a life of its own, each note a beacon of hope and unity. The warriors of Fioria fought with renewed vigor, their hearts alight with the harmonica's magic. In the midst of the fray, Alden faced the warlord once more. The dark leader sneered, his eyes blazing with dark power. "You cannot win, Prince. Darkness will consume you all." Alden met his gaze, his resolve unshaken. "You underestimate the power of unity and hope." With a powerful melody, Alden played a tune that resonated with the very essence of Fioria. The ground beneath the warlord's feet shook, and tendrils of light erupted from the earth, wrapping around the dark leader and binding him in place. The warlord's dark magic faltered, and his forces hesitated, their confidence shattered. Seizing the moment, Thaddeus, Era, Gorath and Branna unleashed their full might, driving the enemy back with a relentless onslaught. Sir Cedric and Captain Mia led their troops with unwavering courage, cutting through the enemy ranks with precision and skill. Lord Phelan's arrows flew true, finding their marks and felling dark sorcerers before they could cast their spells. As the battle reached its climax, Alden played a final, triumphant note. The harmonica's melody soared above the battlefield, a song of victory and light. The dark forces, their will broken, fled before the harmonica's magic, their leader defeated and bound by the power of Feoria. The battlefield fell silent, save for the harmonica's lingering notes. Alden lowered the instrument, his heart swelling with pride and relief. The giants and their allies gathered around him, their faces reflecting the joy of their hard-won victory. "We have done it," Alden said, his voice filled with emotion. "Feoria is safe." The cheers of their comrades echoed across the battlefield, a testament to the power of unity and hope. As the sun broke through the clouds, casting a golden light upon the land, Alden knew that they had not only defended their realm, but had also forged a bond that would endure for generations. With the harmonica's melodies guiding them, the people of Feoria faced a future filled with promise and peace. The battle of the giants had been won, but the true strength of their victory lay in the unity and courage of all who had fought for the realm. Together, they would ensure that the light of Feoria never faded, and that the harmonica's song would continue to inspire and protect for years to come. The days following the battle were filled with a cautious optimism. Feoria had proven its strength, yet Prince Alden knew that the true test still lay ahead. The dark forces, though routed, had not been entirely defeated. Their leader, the warlord bound by the harmonica's magic, was held captive, but whispers of a darker power orchestrating the chaos began to spread through the kingdom. Alden gathered his closest advisors and allies in the castle's war room. The atmosphere was tense, the flickering candlelight casting long shadows on the stone walls. Thaddeus, Era, Gorath, Branna, Sir Cedric, Captain Mia, Lord Phelan, and King Thrain stood around the table, their expressions reflecting the gravity of the situation. "We've won a significant victory," Alden began, his voice steady but serious. "But our true enemy remains in the shadows. We must uncover and confront this dark power if we are to secure lasting peace for Feoria." Thaddeus nodded, his deep voice resonating with resolve. "The warlord was but a pawn. We must find and defeat the master who wields the true darkness." Captain Mia stepped forward, her eyes blazing with determination. "Our scouts have reported strange activity in the Forbidden Mountains. Dark magic pulses from there, stronger than ever. It's likely the source of this evil." Lord Phelan added, "The mountains are treacherous, but if we combine our strengths and use the harmonica's power, we can overcome any obstacle." King Thrain, his voice a rumble of confidence, declared, "Our weapons and armor are ready. The dwarves will march with you, my prince." With their course set, the company prepared for their journey to the Forbidden Mountains. Alden, the harmonica secure around his neck, felt the weight of his duty more keenly than ever. This final confrontation would determine the fate of Feoria. The journey was arduous. The path to the Forbidden Mountains was fraught with peril. Narrow trails winding through dense forests, rocky inclines, and treacherous ravines. The air grew colder as they ascended, the sky darkening with each step they took. Yet, the harmonica's melodies, played softly by Alden, provided a guiding light, a source of hope and strength. As they reached the base of the mountains, an eerie silence enveloped them. The landscape was stark and unforgiving, the peaks shrouded in ominous clouds. Dark magic crackled in the air, a palpable presence that set their nerves on edge. They pressed on, climbing higher into the mountains. Strange, twisted creatures emerged from the shadows, their eyes glowing with malevolence. The giants fought with unmatched ferocity, their strength and size turning the tide against these dark minions. The knights and warriors, led by Sir Cedric and Captain Mia, moved with precision and bravery, cutting down any threat that crossed their path. At last, they reached a massive, ancient fortress carved into the mountainside. Its black stone walls radiated an aura of dread, and dark energy pulsed from within. This was the heart of the dark power that threatened Fioria. Alden stood before the towering gates, the harmonica in his hands. "This is it," he said, his voice echoing in the cold air. "The final confrontation." With a deep breath, he played a melody of courage and light, its powerful notes reverberating through the fortress. The gates creaked open, revealing a vast, shadowy hall. At its center stood a figure cloaked in darkness, its eyes burning with an ancient, malevolent fire. The figure stepped forward, its voice a chilling whisper. "You have come far, Prince Alden, but your journey ends here. The power of the harmonica is nothing compared to the darkness I command." Alden met the figure's gaze, his resolve unwavering. "We fight for the light, for unity, for Fioria. Your darkness has no place here." With a surge of determination, Alden played a melody of defiance, its notes a beacon of hope and strength. The dark figure recoiled, the harmonica's magic piercing its shroud of shadows. The final battle erupted, a clash of light and dark, hope and despair. Thaddeus, Era, Gorath and Branna charged forward, their immense strength shattering the dark minions that emerged from the shadows. Sir Cedric and Captain Mia led their warriors with unwavering courage, their blades flashing in the dim light. Alden's music filled the hall, its power growing with each note. The harmonica's melodies intertwined with the efforts of his allies, creating a symphony of unity and strength. The dark figure's power waned, its shadows dissipating under the relentless assault of light and hope. In a final, desperate move, the dark figure unleashed a wave of dark magic, aimed directly at Alden. But Alden stood firm, playing a triumphant, soaring melody. The harmonica's magic countered the dark wave, enveloping it in light. The dark figure let out a final, anguished cry as the harmonica's power overwhelmed it, shattering its form and banishing its darkness. The hall fell silent, save for the harmonica's lingering notes. Alden lowered the instrument, his heart pounding with the realization of their victory. The dark power had been vanquished, its hold over Fioria broken. His companions gathered around him, their faces alight with joy and relief. "We've done it," Alden said, his voice filled with emotion. "Fioria is free." As the sun rose over the forbidden mountains, casting a golden light over the land, the company made their way back to Fioria. The harmonica's melodies, a testament to their unity and hope, guided them home. Fioria's future was bright, its people united and strong. The harmonica's song would continue to inspire and protect, a reminder of the courage and resolve that had saved their realm. Together, they had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, their bonds forged in the fires of battle and strengthened by the power of hope and unity. The journey back to Fioria was filled with a sense of triumph and relief. As the company descended from the treacherous heights of the Forbidden Mountains, the dark clouds that had once loomed over the land began to disperse, revealing the clear blue sky. The sun shone brightly, its rays a warm embrace that promised a new dawn for the kingdom. Prince Alden, the golden harmonica hanging proudly around his neck, led the procession. Beside him marched the giants, Thaddeus, Era, Gorath, and Branna. Each step they took resonating with the strength and unity that had secured their victory. Sir Cedric, Captain Mia, and their allies from the sunlit isles, the Silverwood and Iridia followed, their spirits lifted by the promise of peace. As they approached the gates of Fioria, the people gathered to welcome them home. Cheers erupted, and banners waved in the breeze, a vibrant display of joy and gratitude. King Eldric, his eyes shining with pride, stood at the forefront, ready to embrace his son. Alden dismounted and approached his father, bowing deeply. "We have returned, father, and Fioria is safe once more." King Eldric pulled Alden into a tight embrace. "You have done more than protect our kingdom, my son. You have united us all. The legends of the golden harmonica will be told for generations, a symbol of our strength and hope." The grand hall of the castle was soon filled with the hum of celebration. Feasts were prepared, and the air was alive with music and laughter. Alden took his place at the head of the table, flanked by his loyal companions. As the festivities began, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment and peace. Later that evening, as the celebrations continued, Alden stood on a balcony overlooking the kingdom. The harmonica, its golden surface gleaming in the moonlight, rested in his hands. He played a gentle, soothing melody, its notes carrying through the night, a lullaby of peace and harmony. Elian appeared beside him, his presence as enigmatic as ever. "You have fulfilled the prophecy, Prince Alden. Fioria is at peace, and the harmonica's song will continue to guide and protect your people." Alden smiled, the weight of his journey finally lifting. I couldn't have done it without the strength and unity of our allies, and without your guidance, Elian." Elian nodded, his eyes filled with wisdom. "Remember, Alden, the true power of the harmonica lies not just in its magic, but in the hearts of those who play it. As long as you lead with courage and hope, Faoria will remain strong." With a final reassuring smile, Elian faded into the night, leaving Alden alone with his thoughts and the harmonica's gentle song. He knew that the challenges they had faced had forged unbreakable bonds, and that the future of Faoria was bright. The days that followed were filled with renewal and restoration. The giants returned to their slumber, their task complete, but their presence now etched into the heart of the kingdom's lore. The allied forces of the sunlit isles, the Silverwood and Iridia remained, their friendship with Faoria strengthened by their shared victory. Prince Alden took on his role as a leader with a newfound sense of purpose. He worked alongside his father, King Eldric, to rebuild and strengthen the kingdom. The harmonica's melodies became a symbol of unity and resilience, played during times of celebration and reflection, a reminder of the journey they had undertaken and the victories they had won. In the years that followed, Faoria flourished. The story of the golden harmonica and the brave prince who wielded its power became a beloved legend, told and retold around hearths and in grand halls. The land remained at peace, its people united by the bonds forged in the fires of battle and tempered by the harmonica's song. Alden often found himself drawn to the balcony where he had first played the harmonica upon his return. As he stood there, looking out over the prosperous kingdom, he would play a melody of hope and harmony, its notes a testament to the enduring spirit of Faoria. And so, the golden harmonica, with its magical melodies and the legacy of Prince Alden, became an enduring symbol of the power of unity, courage, and hope. Faoria thrived, its people ever watchful and resilient, ready to face whatever challenges the future might bring. The harmonica's song continued to echo through the ages, a beacon of light in a world that had once known darkness.